You think it's cool to throw a house party? You think it's okay when you're under 21? You want to throw a house party and serve alcohol to minors? Be careful of doing that, otherwise you could go to jail. And for Alice, it's what happened. Over 80 students were at a house party and they were served alcohol. But here's the twist. Some people were in athletics, and most of them probably received harsher punishment. Take a look.
News out of Alice now as we learn over 80 students. Developing news out of Alice now as we learn over 80 students were issued citations for minor in possession over the weekend.
Yeah, athletic director of the school, Coach Joe Castellano, letting parents know that he met with the football team to discuss the incident that took place. That incident surrounding a house party where alcohol was served and distributed to minors. We do know one adult was arrested for purchasing alcohol for the minors.
In the letter today, Coach Castellano telling parents and students they have until 4 p.m. tomorrow to self-report whether they used or possessed alcohol that night and if they were issued a citation or not. It also states consequences will be based on whether the student comes forward.
For example, if a student self-reports, they will be given 14-day suspension and a drug and alcohol counseling session. However, if a student fails to self-report and is seen in video or photos consuming alcohol that night, their punishment will be more severe. This includes removal from the team and missing a critical district or playoff game.
They have until Thursday, which that was a couple days ago. But did they probably learn a lesson? We don't know. But what about the parents? What did the parents have to say about this? Here's Josh Maxwell.
I think parents need to definitely talk to the kids about what's going on out there.
Eric Enum is a proud Alice Coyote, showing up to support his team at Pirate Stadium. But he's also a parent who's keen on what's going on around his child's school.
She definitely told me what's going on.
And I'm referring to the house party last weekend where 80 plus students were issued citations for minor in possession charges. 42 of those students voluntarily coming forward. Because of their choice, they got a lesser punishment that comes in the form of a mandatory drug and counseling session and a 14-day suspension. Enum says that while all students should be professional, athletes should be more so.
They're people that we look up to, so I think they should be held to a higher standard.
Fellow Alice resident Jose Sanchez says that while the students need to be held accountable, true discipline begins at home.
The parents, basically the parents that, it's their duty to, hey, where are your children?
Sanchez says that while teens can be curious, the number of those involved should prompt concern.
It's 100 students, you know what I mean? That's quite a bit, for you not to know where your child is at night.
While 3 News was not able to confirm how many of the students were athletes, Alice ISD says that students had until Thursday to report themselves. Those who did not will receive a steeper punishment, including removal from the team and missing a critical district playoff game. Josh Maxwell, 3 News.
So those are 42 students. I mean, if you're one of those students, it's probably too late to come forward. You should have thought about that before you went ahead and said, well, I'm not gonna come forward. I don't care what they do to me. Look, your mom and dad play football. Your aunts, your uncles, your brother, your stepbrother did. It doesn't matter. I get it. You want to go have fun. You want to go party. I get it too. But let me tell you something. I would never serve alcohol to someone under 21. If I did, I would be arrested. I would fess to the police. Yes, I serve alcohol to minors, and I am prepared to face punishment. That I'd be sitting in that jail cell thinking about why it wouldn't happen. I would not call up my friends to say, hey, come bail me out, because it's probably going to happen again. I mean, all these kids, these Alice people, I'm sorry. I mean, there was an Alice game happening. If I didn't know about this, they would have told me, hey. I mean, say, hey, you play me a song? One condition. Tell me about those kids that were tell me about those 40-something kids that were caught at the party. You wanted them? They would have told me, yes, okay. Entire confession recorded right on video, on audio tape, and then released to the dish, at least to the. Did you report this? Did you self-report? No, I didn't. You would have gotten punished. You have to self-report. Self-reporting means that you're admitting to this. Here's common sense for you. Number 1, never ever throw a house party. 2, don't serve alcohol to minors. And 3, if you do this, you know there is consequences. You came forward and say, yes, I was serving alcohol to minors, then you'd be arrested. If I was one of those people, harsher punishments, less punishments. You'll get suspended from the game, and you'll have alcohol treatment programs. That's what needs to happen. Parents, talk to your children. Make sure they know about this. Show them the story. And even then, you'll know where your child is. Download Life 360, and you'll thank me later. And number 4, don't keep your mouth shut. Come forward. Even if it meant you being off the team, come forward immediately. If the damage is already done, y'all should have came forward. Still ahead, do you have bad breath? Well, we're going to show you some tools about how you can get rid of bad breath. Also, what really happened in Oklahoma City after the bombing? Some surprising details. But first, a sport that is banned in all 50 states. You'll see videotape and meet someone who served 10 years probation. Stay with us. Before we move on to our next story, I want to read you the comments that we have not talked about before we went on break. I understand the situation totally, but this is something that happens all throughout South Texas and surrounding areas. Texas Statute Education Code, Section 37.006, subsection D. Alice High School will have a football team anymore. The punishment is either removal or expulsion from the school by state law. If this doesn't happen, then the school district is whatever. That's what alcohol does. Ruins lives and ends lives. Drinking again, we saw the results tonight. Not everybody can make it happen. Too bad the school district just cashed out a bonds bill. What do you expect from parents and grandparents? Here's what you can't expect. Nobody obeys the law. That's what the law states. You have to make sure of it. You gotta make sure of it. And I'll tell you this, I would never be one of those people that would freaking go out there and freaking be one of those people. But I think Alice didn't. There should not be harsher punishments. Expulsion. I think Alice ISD broke the law. Really broke the law. Like, well, no, we didn't violate the law. We were just doing our procedures. You can't give out harsher punishments. State law says so. They have laws you gotta follow too, and school laws are very different because for state by state. So, that's my 2 cents. Let's move on. You ever heard of now a story about something that is illegal in all 50 states? Can you ever imagine one of your pit bulls or is fighting one of your dogs in an all-out dog fighting match, which is banned in all 50 states? Animals fighting to the death. Tonight we're going to show you some videotape that is very graphic, very disturbing to watch, of 2 dogs fighting. And you'll also get to meet somebody who served 10 years probation, who gives us his take about all of this. And you'll see what happens when people get arrested, and you'll see drugs. Can anything be done to stop the dogs of war? A warning, much of what you're about to see is quite graphic, and we let it stand by. Here's John Scott.
With pit bulls, it's all in the breeding.
Who's my good puppy?
You can have a pit bull like Max.
He'd go and kiss James when James was like a couple days old. It's amazing how gentle he can be. Now they're like 3-year-old brothers.
Or you can have a pit bull like Playboy.
Release your dogs.
Some call it a sport, this ritual of spattered blood and torn flesh. Whatever it is, dogfighting seems to be on the rise across America, despite the best efforts of organizations like the Humane Society to stamp it out.
It just sickens me to know that for 17 years I've worked in this area, and we're getting worse instead of better in controlling this activity.
Underground dogfighting magazines carry more and more fight results. Hundreds of ads for pit bull puppies bred from champion fighters.
We need some keys for this Ford Explorer out here. It's a real bad injured dog.
Police raids, like this one in Colorado, produce more than injured dogs. There are drugs, guns, and suspects who know their rights.
I'm not saying anything till I have a lawyer.
And most horrifying of all, in cities like Philadelphia, the discovery of dead, mangled pets, stolen and used, police believe, as bait to train fighting pit bulls for inner-city dogfights. Wherever you live in America, city or country, chances are there'll be a scene like this one not too far away this weekend. And you may wonder, who are these people and why are they here? For the next few minutes, we're going inside the brutal world of dogfighting with a spotted pit bull called Playboy and the man who bred and trained him to fight, a man called W.A. A dozen videotapes like the one you're watching were seized last year by Detective Rodney Glendenning of Fort Bend County, Texas, when he raided the farm of William Ackridge just outside Houston. So he had his own little business, his own little farm all right here. Training, breeding, fighting.
Yes, sir. Everything. And he even had a pit. There's a pit where they fought the animals. It's down in this secluded area right here. It's all brush.
Today, it's a picturesque ruin slipping back to nature. But before Glendenning's raid, there were dozens of fighting pit bulls staked out here, a complete dog-fighting ranch.
Yeah, this is W.A., the arch #1 villain in Houston.
Before his arrest, William Ackridge, W.A. as he likes to be called, was nationally known as a dogfighter, breeder of a championship line of pit bulls called Zebo. W.A. was convicted on dogfighting charges, served 60 days in jail, had all of his fighting dogs destroyed. Now he's on 10 years probation. And so W.A. has decided to do something dogfighters almost never do. He's decided to talk to us about the secret world of fighting pit bulls.
I tell you, it's worse than drugs. It just gets in your body and it gets in your blood and you just do it.
It's a rush.
Yeah, it's a rush, boy. Basically, if you train this dog, you condition him, get him ready to fight, as the saying goes, this dog will die for you.
W.A. is talking about dogs like his champion, Playboy. By now, on this confiscated tape, Playboy has been fighting for 6 minutes. That's W.A.'s son, Reggie, in the ring, urging him on. Neither handler may actually touch his dog. And now the serious money starts to roll in. The betting is a lot of what dogfighting is about.
Man, they got a $500 bet on that. Kill that one, Bubba.
A fight between champion dogs can draw high rollers betting tens of thousands of dollars. When he gets into the ring, isn't that dog a big piece of you?
Well, yeah, you could say it like that. You know, you get a good, mean dog that can fight. I don't like to fight. You know, shoot, I'm going to walk 10 miles and miss a fight with myself. But I'd walk 20 miles to let my dog fight. You know, that's the dogs are bred to fight, he ought to fight. That's all they're good for, it's all they're known for. They can't train them to do nothing else.
There he is.
W.A. doesn't know it, but 1,000 miles to the north, there's a computer that knows a lot about him.
According to my files, he was arrested at a dogfighting raid Easter Sunday in 1986 in Louisiana. And he was arrested in December of 1992 in Arcola, Texas. And he had dogs in a pit in his backyard.
The computer belongs to the organization W.A. and other dogfighters hate most of all, the Humane Society of the United States. The society created this database to help its own agents and law enforcement officers all over the country hunt down and prosecute dogfighters.
Well, we know the number is appalling. it's at least 6,000 dog fighters and probably many more whose names we don't have on our computer.
Against all those thousands of dog fighters, known and unknown, the Humane Society musters a handful of undercover agents like Mark Paulus.
I had to drink with these folks, and because normally we'd get together the day before the fight, and we'd have parties and we'd play cards and get together socially. And they're not my type of people. I mean, every one of these people was armed to the teeth.
What WA and all those other thousands of dog fighters fear most is that somewhere among those noisy fans betting and cheering and drinking at their dog fight, there might be a Humane Society undercover agent like Mark Paulus setting up a future raid.
It's the American version of the Roman circus. No question about it. Incredible cruelty for entertainment purposes.
Back in 1977, Mark Paulus began to infiltrate the dogfighting world, trying to convince legislatures and law enforcement agencies that dogfighting was a danger to more than the dogs.
I mean, these are folks that'll get together on a weekend night and watch animals fight to the death with all the blood and gore going on, and cheer and bet and appear to have a good time. And that makes them sociopathic in the sense that they don't care about the people either.
What would have happened to you if you had been identified as a snitch?
I'll tell you what I feared. I thought I might be killed. The scuttlebutt is that snitches have been killed in the past, and there'd be little rumors floating around. I heard one story about a guy that was castrated as a warning.
Now, on WA's videotape, the dogfight is 18 minutes old, and now there's blood at the throat of WA's dog, Playboy. But neither animal backs away.
I swear to God, man, most of the time the dogs don't even get a hole in them. I mean, the average dog can't bite. He can't bite a hole in another dog. It's kind of like a wrestling match.
He's lying. He's lying. Plain and simple. These dogs puncture flesh with virtually every bite. In fact, some of the dogs we've picked up have had hundreds of puncture wounds on their heads, chest, muzzle. They will receive incredible punishment. They'll fight with broken legs or gouged out eyes.
Kill him from the ear!
31 minutes into WA's dogfight. Suddenly, one dog turns his head away, as if he may have had enough, may not want to take any more of this punishment. In dogfight parlance, the referee calls a turn.
You snatch at the dogs, and I run to my corner with mine, you run to your corner with yours, and you got 20 seconds. You keep your dog in the corner, you get a sponge and you wipe him off. Then you face your dog, and if he wants to continue fighting, he'll go back over and start fighting.
Perhaps the hardest point to grasp, despite the fact that they've bred them, trained them, and put them in the ring for the sole purpose of fighting, even to the death, dogfighters insist they love their dogs.
I love every dog I got. Not just every now and then, just every day. Feed that dog, pet him, love him.
But we hear that all the time. I mean, dog fighters are cruel individuals. They will spend years, bringing a dog up to this point, feeding them well, caring for them, only to betray them at that very last, that last moment.
The Humane Society don't believe in giving nothing or nobody a chance. That's why they kill puppies, old dogs, 12-year-old dogs. You think a 12-year-old dog could fight?
And that's the final ugly irony of this story. The dogs can't win. Pit bulls confiscated in police raids are invariably destroyed by their rescuers, just as WA's were, just as Playboy was.
Yes, there is.
Because these dogs are bred generation after generation for no purpose, no skill, except to fight and kill one another. All the puppy fights, the brutal training regimens, are simply designed to harden the dogs, who are already born killers. On this one point, the dog fighters and their Humane Society enemies agree. Unlike sturdy family friends like Max, the fighting pit bull can never be reliably retrained or trusted in normal society. They can't be saved.
We've tried. All efforts have failed miserably. They're not taught to fight. They're allowed to fight. They're genetically programmed through decades of breeding to be hyper-aggressive. So it can't be taken out of them.
That's what hurts me the most. Just put my dogs to sleep that, I could have let them die in the pit. I could have shot them. I could have done anything, anything. But I saved them dogs and tried to give them a life.
Red dogs go!
Finally, an hour and 4 minutes after the fight started, it's over. The other dog won't come out, can't or won't take further punishment. The tape doesn't show what happened to him. Some owners kill a loser right in the pit. WA insists he never did that. But in this fight, he didn't have to. His Playboy is the winner.
The ultimate goal is to have that referee say winner right there.
You love those dogs. Still wish you were in the pit bull business?
Yeah. Wish I could be.
You could be, but then you serve another year's probation. Here's common sense for you. It's illegal. Illegal. Sorry, meaning it's against the law. You can go to jail for it. Look up your state law about dogfighting. It's illegal. It can lead to severe consequences, even consequences for you. Don't ever start dogfighting. No ifs, ands, buts, or excuses. Next, what really happened in Oklahoma City before and during the bombing? Tom Gell has some discoveries that could make the families even wonder what the hell happened. Stay with us. We're not going to be approaching. It's going to be 30 years from now since the Oklahoma City bombing. What really happened then during that time? Tonight, you're going to see what happens. You're going to see an exclusive investigation done by 2020 that could really make you aware of what the government was aware of. And you'll also get to hear from attorneys and the victims' families. Is there a cover-up, or did someone else knew about it already? Here's Tom Gell.
The day began warm and sunny for mid-April in Oklahoma City. It could not have seemed more routine. In the suburbs, Glenn Wilburn was helping his wife and daughter get their two playful grandsons, 3-year-old Chase and his 2-year-old brother Colton, ready to take to the daycare center downtown in the Alfred P. Murrow building.
Chase needed his shoes put on, so I picked him up and set him on the bar and put his shoes on. And as I did, I had to put my arm, and I'm putting the shoes on. I kissed him on the forehead, and I said, you're a good boy. Papa loves you.
The daycare center was a convenient spot for federal workers to drop their toddlers in the downtown area. About 24 kids attended the second-floor nursery. These scenes were photographed the week before April 19th. On that fateful day, as the children played, about 1/2 block away, a truck pulled to a stop. This is an exclusive 2020 photograph of that Ryder rental truck. The quality is poor because it was snapped by a small security camera inside an apartment lobby. Because this truck played such a vital role in the Oklahoma bombing, we have colorized and enhanced the black and white security photo to show more clearly exactly where the yellow Ryder rental truck was parked. Until tonight, the truck has never been seen. The time, just minutes before 9 a.m. Just down the street at 9 a.m. sharp, Luke Klaver convened the monthly meeting of the Oklahoma Water Resources Board.
My name's Luke Klaver, and I've been dead.
As the meeting proceeded, authorities believe the driver of the truck left the Regency Towers, then drove 1/2 block to the Murrow building and parked the truck outside. It was loaded with high explosives. This was directly across the street from the Water Resources building. Connie Ziegelgruber, the board's recording secretary, made this audio tape of the meeting. She listened as we played her tape, never before heard by a nation so shocked by what was imminent.
Information regarding
This is when the bomb went off. We immediately had ceiling tiles coming down.
We need medical supplies.
It was a bomb, a 4,800-pound mixture of ammonium nitrate fertilizer and fuel oil, known as an AMPHO bomb, carried inside the Ryder truck. It killed 167, including 19 children buried in the daycare center. When Glenn Wilburn saw on TV the little shoe he had put on grandson Chase, he knew both boys had died. Where the Ryder truck was photographed earlier, wreckage was everywhere, including the truck axle with an identification number, which later would help trace down who rented it. Federal agents quickly arrested Tim McVeigh and Terry Nichols as prime suspects for the bombing. A third man, Michael Fortier, was arrested as an alleged accomplice. The government said they would pursue and arrest a man known only as John Doe II and others. In the aftermath, the derelict Murrow building was demolished. The stunned citizens of Oklahoma City buried their dead and put their faith without question in the credibility of the federal investigation. But now, more than 18 months later, the initial shock has worn off. Many families are beginning to ask hard questions. Why now? Attorney Dan Adamitis.
This community's had a lot of things to deal with after the bombing, and this is not the kind of thing one likes to talk about when we have a loss like this. And I think now is the first time this community is really able to start talking about some of these issues.
An issue increasingly for some of the victims and their families. What did authorities know or suspect before the explosion that federal workers and the children arriving at the Murrow building did not know or were not told? For 7 months, 2020 has looked into just that question, and we found solid facts which tend to support their suspicion. Our investigation uncovered eyewitnesses and government documents which show a lot of unusual activity was going on behind the scenes shortly before the explosion occurred. Consider what several people we found saw that morning, including Adamitis, chief counsel for a tire company.
Well, I was coming downtown for a charity board meeting that I had at 7:30 at the Oklahoma Tower, which is located right over there.
You go right down this street?
Right down Hudson Street, one-way street, trying to get into the parking lot up here.
Suddenly he noticed something different.
There was this fairly large truck with a trailer behind it, and it had a shield on the side of the door and it said bomb disposal or bomb squad below it. And I really found that interesting. I've never seen anything like that in person.
Authorities now claim in federal investigative reports that the huge, ominous truck with its trailer was being used by a deputy to run routine errands. We also found Claude Fritz.
That morning, the presence of law enforcement was in the air. It was everywhere, downtown here.
As a private investigator and part-time employee for the county courts, he drove a regular downtown route. But on April 19th, shortly before 8:30 a.m., about a half hour before the explosion, he too noticed something highly unusual. As you reached this corner, Harvey and McGee and looked in the direction, what did you see?
We saw officers going through the bushes and looking in these windows at the bottom of the courthouse here.
1 or 2 officers or several?
I would say no more than 7, but more than 4 paramilitary individuals with arms. I saw 3 dogs that were being used in this block on this side.
You seem to be looking for something in the shrub?
Yes, sir. Something on the building or connected to the building. It wasn't quite good.
Did these appear to be sniffer dogs? In fact, they used bombs. This was directly across the street from the Murrow building. Many others saw the same type of curious activity. 2020 found a mention of the bomb squad in this company newsletter, in this inter-office article by a county worker, and in a small-town newspaper story. A few weeks after the bombing, Glenn Wilburn, his wife Kathy, and daughter Edie hosted a dinner for the families whose children were killed or injured in the daycare center. As the families talked, suspicion and anger began to grow.
At what point did you begin to suspect that there may have been fire warning for this explosion?
Renee Cooper, who lost her job in the bombing, told me that morning that she saw a bomb squad in front of the federal courthouse building, and she drove to work. I quizzed her at once. I said, how do you know this was a bomb squad? She said, she was somewhat indignant because she said, well, they had bomb squad written across their jackets in huge letters. So there were several, probably 6 or 7.
However, in federal investigative reports obtained by 2020, there's no mention of Renee Coopers ever having seen the bomb squad. Suspecting a cover-up, Wilburn, aided by his wife, temporarily set aside his profession as a certified public accountant to begin his own investigation, amassing thousands of pages of documents, pictures, taking witnesses' statements, and recording interviews when he thought it necessary. He says his investigation has uncovered ample information that there was some type of prior warning or prior knowledge of pending trouble in Oklahoma City. Wilburn says the local fire department was warned 5 days earlier.
I was told that there was a phone call placed to the fire department on Good Friday, giving them a warning of some potential danger of terrorism act. So I went to the fire department.
While Wilburn was investigating at fire headquarters, a deputy chief told him no such call was ever made. But 3 dispatchers and the deputy chief of dispatchers, Harvey Weathers, confirmed the call. Wilburn says he asked Weathers why the department would deny it.
And Harvey's quote to me was exactly these words. He said, well, he said, I'm not going to lie for anybody. A lot of people don't want to get involved in this deal. He said,
our 2020 investigation found documents which show that Weathers does confirm the fire department received a call from the FBI 5 days before the bombing, warning that there were some people coming through town they should be on the lookout for. The documents don't indicate it was specifically a bomb threat. Deputy Chief Weathers refused to talk with 2020. Other documents obtained by 2020 show that someone called the Executive Secretariat's office at the Justice Department in Washington and said the Morrow building had been bombed. But this was 24 minutes before the blast. No action was apparently taken. The suspicion of fire warning is bolstered too by this man we found, who spoke to us anonymously at his wife's request. She worked in the Morrow building, which was the local headquarters for the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the federal agency most directly involved in catching bombers.
I spotted the ATF officer in a jacket that signified that it was ATF personnel. And he just came out and told me that the ATF wasn't in the building that day. They'd been tipped by their pagers not to come to work, which I was flabbergasted. You know, I didn't ask this guy this question. This is just what came out of his mouth.
Did he go further to explain why they were told not to come to work?
They were tipped by their pagers of the bomb threat that morning.
The ATF says their field agents were either in other buildings or had worked late the night before on investigations and had not stayed away because of a bomb threat. They say a few ATF senior personnel and clerks were in the building. According to the ATF, agent in charge Alex McCauley was in an elevator along with DEA agent David Schickendance when the bomb went off. An award naming Schickendance one of the National Policemen of the Year would describe the 2 men surviving a dramatic 6-story fall in an elevator. But Dwayne James and Oscar Johnson say that just didn't happen. They were the elevator maintenance men who arrived about 20 minutes after the explosion.
Several of us entered and did a floor-to-floor search to see where the elevators were, and we inspected each elevator and made sure nobody was in.
They made photographs and carefully documented their inspection. The pictures show all the safety cables and pulleys worked and kept the elevator from free-falling.
One report has a couple of law enforcement officers getting on the 9th floor, and the elevator falling 6 floors, I believe it was, down to the 3rd floor. Could that have happened?
If you fell 6 floors in free fall, it'd be like jumping out a 6-story building. I'd ask them how long they were in the hospital and how lucky they were to survive. So, yeah, it's kind of humorous.
It's the behavior and contradicting stories from the ATF and the U.S. attorneys that anger some of the families.
I'm a survivor of the bombing.
All these people either worked in the building
Kathy Wilburn, and I lost my 2 grandchildren.
or lost a loved one.
I'm Jamie Coverdale, and I lost my 2 grandsons.
We met with them in the kitchen of the Wilburns' home. All feel they are loyal Americans who are left in the dark on the events of the most tragic day of their lives. They cite, for example, ATF Director John McGaugh's statement to the media that he had issued a special alert to all his field offices that April 19th was Patriots' Day, dear to the hearts of militia groups, and the anniversary of the Waco siege, a potentially dangerous day. That would have included Oklahoma City.
Anybody here see any memos, have any memos? Was there any posted on the doorways? Did the ATF office circulate anything in the building that would alert you that this was a day to be on alert for?
If they had the courtesy to have their own people out, we should have the courtesy to get everyone else.
I know I wouldn't have had Aaron in my anything. And I feel like we should know.
Federal worker Randy Ledger barely survived.
I mean, it's very disturbing what's coming to light. I worked in the building building manager, it's my boss. That's what disturbs me is that they didn't get that information out to people to make their own decision.
Maybe they couldn't have reached all of us by telephone to say, hey, don't bring your kids in tomorrow because tomorrow's April 19th, something might happen. But, I mean, just saying nothing, you drop your child off at the daycare center an hour and a half later, he's dead.
The Justice Department, under a gag order from the courts, declines to discuss a number of questions and refused on-camera comment for 2020. But on background, they emphatically denied there was any forewarning the Murrow building or any other building was going to be bombed on April 19th. They said there were no warnings of any type about possible trouble or terrorist activity in Oklahoma City. They say all questions will be answered once the trial begins.
What if these were honest men who made an honest mistake? And it literally blew up in their faces.
Yeah. We can deal with the truth. Just give us the truth.
We want to know. We know where our loved ones are, okay? That's not the problem, but we don't know what happened. And we want the truth, and we need the truth to heal.
The truth. What is the Justice Department saying?
Barbara, they say there was no prior warning, that the courtroom, the trials, is the proper place to answer these questions.
Now, we saw some people here, but in general, there were many more involved. How widespread is this feeling?
We don't really know. There's an Oklahoma legislature who's just received permission to gather petitions to have a grand jury investigation of this by the county for the first time. He says he has broad support for this effort, so we'll see.
That truck has never been seen before, that photograph. Is that going to be introduced into the trial?
We certainly suspect it will, Barbara. The enhanced photo shows a very distinct possibility of a man standing behind that truck. And the time sequence camera took additional photographs. So will those additional photographs show there was a man there? Will they show that he was alone? Will it show it was the suspect, Tim McVeigh? The additional photographs in the trial should help point that out.
Let's hope they do. Right. Thank you, Tom. This was extremely good.
Well, next on the program, how do you get away with crime in this country? Police say the man who allegedly raped this woman did, and so might the man blamed for this fatal accident. Lynn Scher with the outrage of people allowed to live above the law after this.
Years later, Timothy McVeigh was sentenced to death. We all know that story. Next, do you have bad breath? What if you could find some tools? Could it lead to diseases? Dr. Timothy Johnson is here with some answers. Stay with us. Now something that we all don't want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it right now. It's bad breath. Do you or someone you know has bad breath and you're offended by it? What if you could find some tools and ways to help combat bad breath? Could it lead to gum disease or even dental hygiene? Tonight we're going to tell you all about bad breath, how it can happen, and we're going to also show you some tools that can really help with bad breath, as well as give you some hints and tips. Here's Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Bad breath. Millions of Americans suffer from it, or at least think they do. The sale of breath mints, gum, mouthwashes, and toothpaste that promise us cleaner, fresher breath has grown to be more than a $500 million a year industry. And for those afflicted, it's a nightmare.
It was something I thought about from morning to night, and
You know, it just really made me feel uncomfortable.
I was always wondering, are they smelling something about me and reacting in some way that I don't even know?
Beware of the backward step. But today, there is new hope on the horizon. New products, new treatments, even new ways of measuring bad breath. And along with that, bad breath entrepreneurs are emerging, complete with ads on the internet and fresh breath and anti-halitosis clinics springing up across the country.
Good afternoon, the Fresh Breath Center of the Palm Beaches.
And it's not just we Americans who seem obsessed with cleaner breath. Just recently, in this picturesque town in Belgium, some 130 scientists gathered for a 2-day international workshop on what researchers are now calling oral malodor.
We think the future does not stink.
Some came to listen to the latest research.
All organoleptic spores correlated strongly.
Others to sell their wares.
This is my new invention. It's called toothbrush and tongue scraper 2-in-1.
And some came to ask questions.
How were those diagnoses that you listed reached?
Periodontist Dr. John Richter attended from Philadelphia. Dr. Richter has the distinction of having opened the first clinic in the United States for the treatment of bad breath.
The reaction was initially very skeptical.
But since then, Dr. Richter has treated over 3,000 patients, and he claims a 98% success rate. 2 of his successes are Tom Bale and Patty Zietz.
As long as I could remember, my father always called me Buffalo Breath. That was my nickname.
From as far back as you can remember.
First grade, the youngest I could remember, so that people would back away.
For Tom Bale, it was his wife Barbara who let him know.
It's like graphic in my mind. Barbara would go, your breath. Because she also wouldn't look at me.
Yeah, frequently. I would have to turn away just
Kind of a reflexive
I felt like I
reaction.
couldn't breathe. I mean, it was very overpowering.
Of course, nearly everybody gets occasional bad breath, usually associated with eating certain foods or smoking, having a cold, or dry mouth, as in morning breath. But for some as yet unknown reason, some people have it almost all of the time. Just what then causes chronic bad breath? Well, most bad breath is produced by a type of bacteria in the backs of our mouths, particularly on the back of our tongue. Bacteria that thrive on lack of oxygen. These bacteria are usually washed away by saliva, but when they're not, they can actually form a kind of tongue plaque, producing foul-smelling gases called volatile sulfur compounds. That's what we call bad breath or halitosis.
See the demonstrator then?
Yes.
Lisa is a new patient who has come to have her breath assessed. Much of that is done with a device called a halimeter.
We compare the mouth air with the nasal air with the lung air.
Open your mouth. Say ah. Ah.
We actually do some sniffing of the various air samples.
One reason this sniffing procedure is done is because a large percentage of people who think they have bad breath actually don't.
What about a person's own assessment of their breath, trying to smell it or taste it or feel it somehow?
It's impossible, and that's been demonstrated dozens of times in dozens of different studies. The best way to tell whether somebody has bad breath, if you want a yes or no answer, is to smell their breath. You don't need a light meter to tell if it's daylight outside. All right, I'm going to tell you what I found. You do have a breath odor right now.
Like most people, Lisa's bad breath is coming from her mouth, and particularly from her tongue.
Well, if a patient has the typical back of the tongue problem, what we do is remove the bacteria from the back of the tongue and from the entire mouth. We use a little spray device to do that. That's the process right there.
The spray Dr. Richter is using to clean Lisa's tongue contains a chemical called chlorine dioxide. Chlorine dioxide is a very powerful oxidizing agent. It's used to deodorize waste management sites. It's also used in water purification because of its antibacterial properties.
It's very non-toxic. It has the ability to dissolve in plaque, or patient gets an instantaneous result.
Lisa certainly did.
And I came home from the first treatment, and Barbara said, I don't smell anything. And I thought, it's working.
How would you describe the difference? Night and day, 100%, etc.?
Oh, absolutely. So all the above. 100% night and day. I mean, there's a sweetness to his breath now.
No distractions.
No distractions.
Right after her first treatment, Patty Zietz ran over to her fiancé's house.
And I said, look at my tongue. I don't have a white coating on it anymore. And I said, smell my breath.
Could you tell a difference in her breath? Right after that first time she tried it again.
It was like a miracle. But I'm so excited because now I can hug everybody at my wedding and they're not going to say, oh, the bride was beautiful, but she had some bad breath.
Of course, this one-time treatment is not enough to keep bad breath from recurring. To prevent that, Dr. Richter dispenses a special home care kit which includes the chlorine dioxide mouth rinse he manufactures called ProFresh. Using the kit twice a day seems to keep the bad breath under control.
I start out and brush everything in my mouth, the gums, the palate, the tongue, and then I go from that to a special little tongue comb.
This tongue comb, or tongue scraper as it's commonly called, is a critical part of the home regimen.
You have to go way back because it's mostly in the back of your tongue. And then I end up flossing and using another mouthful of this mouthwash. And all the bacteria are killed, at least for a while.
But what about other approaches to bad breath?
I have the revolutionary solution. Breath Assure.
Breath Assure, an increasingly popular product, claims to get rid of bad breath naturally by working down in the digestive system. But experts say while it may be of some benefit for temporary food odors or chronic bad breath sufferers, that's usually not the problem.
Breath odor almost never originates in the gastrointestinal tract, which is where this product claims it works.
Like Dad, germs can cause bad breath. And Listerine killed the Go fight bad breath too.
And what about all the commercial mouth rinses and sprays that are available over the counter? Well, Consumer Reports tested most of the leading ones a few years ago. Although products like Listerine did reduce plaque, all the products lost their breath freshening effect anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour after use. The ADA is concerned over the emerging hoopla over bad breath products and expensive bad breath treatment, especially when certain products, like a line known as OxyFresh, are being heavily promoted to turn dentists into bad breath millionaires, promising them huge commissions for recommending the products to patients and to other dentists.
Many of these products are being promoted as not just curing bad breath, but curing gum disease and other things, and quite honestly, I'm embarrassed by that. In fact, one of these companies was asked not to promote their product on the floor of the American Dental Association exhibitors unless they changed what they said the product will do. They were claiming too much.
Dr. Price recommends a more conservative approach to the treatment of bad breath. The critical element is the tongue scraping, as far as you're
From
concerned.
my point of view, yes.
So any old tongue scraper that works for you, as long as you can do it and get rid of the gunk in the back of your tongue, is good enough.
Yes, it will. It should work for you, yes.
So, after all is said and done, the good news is that by relatively simple means, whether through tongue scraping alone or tongue scraping combined with one of these rinses, there is real hope of radically changing the lives of people who used to cringe over getting too close.
Like when I'm talking right now, I don't have to worry. Like I'm stinking up the room here.
It's easier to be as close as we are right now.
I'm not wondering when she's going to notice something that's undesirable about me. And that makes a big difference.
That's remarkable. So are tongue scrapers the key to avoiding bad breath?
That's what everybody kept telling us, and you can use anything like a spoon even in the home, but there are devices now appearing on the market. Here's one you kind of bend and just put in your mouth and scrape, and then there are all these more rigid varieties, different colors and shapes, but they all have a little ridge on them, so you can scrape your tongue. And I think that is the key, to do that faithfully, in many cases twice a day.
What about some people believe that gum disease has something to do with bad breath?
Well, it used to be thought that that was the primary cause, and it certainly can be a cause, but usually not as common as the tongue problem. Obviously, if you do have gum disease, you should have it fixed and addressed, and that should help the problem, but it's really the tongue that's the key in most cases.
In most cases of bad breath. Remarkable. Thank you.
Okay. It's mostly the tongue. Get yourself a tongue scraper, and get in that tongue and just scrape it. Get the tongue scraper and scrape it. If it's related to gum disease, get that fixed. Talk to your dentist, and he or she will help you out here. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Now for something that really makes you say, give me a break. Could you ever imagine looking at your hotel bill and realizing you spent over $100 on stuff that you think that they give you, but then you have to pay for it, the Wi-Fi and all that stuff? Before you check in a hotel, you better start checking that check. Here's Arnold Diaz.
Hello. Okay, sell 1,000 PHB
Peter.
As an options trader, Stan Kleinberg has a nose for numbers, and recently, when his nose told him something stunk, he decided to fight back.
I think we get screwed up in everything we do. You know, if we can stop it once in a while, let's stop it.
When he went to check out of this franchised Holiday Inn Express in Los Angeles, Stan the numbers man noticed $34 worth of long-distance charges for calls that never went through.
And I knew that I tried to call this number and nobody answered. I hung up. But they charged me $1.60, and then I did it again $1.60. I say to the young lady, how can this be? She said, that's not us. That's not Holiday Inn. Who is it? It's our long-distance carrier.
When Stan complained to us, I flew to LA and checked into the same hotel.
Okay, I'm gonna call my producer's number at home. We know he's not home because he's right here. 4 rings, no answer. We're hanging up. No way we should be charged for that call.
I called lots of numbers that rang, but no one answered. Came time to check out, the desk clerk handed me the bill, and there they were.
Whoa, wait a second.
$26 in long-distance charges for 13 calls that never went through.
Can you charge for...
Yeah, we do charge for the service of the hotel.
When we continued to complain, a hotel manager blamed the computer program provided by an outside company to run the phone system.
The computer company's fault? The long-distance carrier's fault? Give me a break. It didn't take much digging for us to learn it's the hotel's fault.
And it's happening at hotels all over the country, says Michael French of Insight Research, who recently did a marketing study of hotel phone systems.
Why are so many other hotels doing the same thing?
The hotel's answer would be that they're looking to get revenue and they feel they're providing a service. But $2 just to attempt a call, it's outrageous, I would say.
Most upscale hotels use a phone system that only charges after a connection is made. But many less expensive hotels use a system that they can program to begin charging as soon as the guest punches the number in, or 30 seconds or a minute after. The hotel can set any time limit it wants.
At this Holiday Inn Express, the charges kicked in less than 30 seconds. It takes that long just to allow a number to ring 4 times and hang up. At $1 or $2 a pop, and thousands of hotels doing it.
They're working on the assumption that the majority of customers will never notice.
The manager did take the charges off my bill after I complained, but that didn't happen with Stan.
So right away, there's something wrong. There can't be anything good about this. We got him.
To all the hotels that have been sneaking these charges past unsuspecting guests, give me a break.
Arnold's piece prompted Holiday Inn Express to post notices of its charges and to adjust its computer so phone charges would kick in after 6 rings instead of 4. In addition, the Holiday Inn Corporation now encourages all its hotels to upgrade their phone system so there'll never be a charge for calls that don't go through. We'll be right back.
Wow. You think you're going to be charged? Well, you probably won't know. So, yep. That will really help you out next time. So if you're being billed for your phone, know what's going on. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Did you ever have to bribe a teacher for you to get your grade up? Well, tonight's Valkyrie is all about a skit that might happen in your classroom. And even then, you may think twice before bribing a teacher. Take a look.
I'm gonna hand your test. Okay, class, take a seat. Okay, class, take your seats. I'm gonna hand your test back now.
Yo, how do you think you did on the test?
Who cares? I'm trying to see what other people got. Jalissa, here's your test.
Thank you, teacher. An F?
She failed the test.
She's a
bro.
Oh, this isn't a big deal at all. Mr. Teacher,
Jalissa, what do you want?
I need to talk to you about this grade.
What do you mean? You failed your test. There's nothing to discuss.
Well, are you sure that I failed?
I literally graded the test. What are you talking about?
Well, maybe $100 could change your mind.
Are you bribing me?
No, of course not. How about 200?
Jalissa, you can't bribe the teacher. That's against the rules.
Oh, please. Rules don't matter when you're rich like me.
Jalissa, how many times do we have to go over this? Your parents are rich. You have no life skills whatsoever.
Life skills don't matter when you're rich like me.
Shut up!
If you don't stop this right now, I'm going to sue you. That's a great idea, Jalissa. Maybe you can use that money to pay for a tutor so you don't have to rely on Daddy's money all the time.
Oh my goodness! This man is a rock. This is insane. Hey, class, take.
That's a good idea. Maybe you can use that money to hire a tutor so you don't have to rely on Daddy's money all the time. Daddy, get $100 for a tutor. Now, I've been watching this video. Here it is.
Phone. I told you stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Why would you
Give
do
me the phone.
that?
Let's go over.
Now let me see your fucking phone. I told you stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Oh.
Give me the phone.
Because I can, no, I honestly don't.
Where you going? I said I was hungry. Okay, well, I'm trying to eat. Hey, she's still my ass. She's gonna mess up. Stop yelling. Something, go give me some food because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Right now. Which one you want? Which one you want? I don't want one. Stop telling me. God, man. What's wrong with you? Now let me see your fucking phone. I told you stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Why would you
Give
do
me the
that?
That's kind of funny, man. It's kind of funny to see that happen. Yeah. Don't ever hit your girl. No ifs, ands, buts, or excuses. Alright. Moving on to our last video. Do you have McDonald's money?
I get some McDonald's. I'm hungry.
McDonald's? Girl, you got McDonald's money?
Come on, please. I'm just real hungry. Give me some food. Come on, please.
We got all the ingredients McDonald's got. Meat, bread, pickles, lettuce, mayonnaise, and fries. No.
Mom, I get some.
Dad, I'm starving. Can we go to McDonald's?
Girl, you got McDonald's money? Yeah.
I'm so hungry, can we get McDonald's? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we got food at home, what's the problem? No, no. Oh, I just want a chicken nugget and some fries. You got McDonald's money, I don't got time. Let's just go back to the house, alright? Told you that the food at the house is fine. Wait till you find out that I was lying.
You was what?
Nine.
Mommy, can we get something from McDonald's? Do you have McDonald's money? Mom, I'm 4 years old. You know I don't have McDonald's money. Well, then you know we not getting no damn McDonald's, boy. Now shut the hell up. Oh, ungrateful ass kids. Boy, I should have never had kids. On my mama. Acting like you hungry and shit. Like, what, I don't provide for you? Damn. Plus we got food at home anyway.
No, we don't have no food at home. All we got is that expired cheese.
Expired? Oh, you want a whooping? Oh, okay. You want
Can we go to McDonald's? Or do you have McDonald's money? Now turn this car around and take me to fucking McDonald's. I'm not playing. Okay. Can we go to McDonald's? Or do you...
Hat?
Yep.
Jersey?
Yep.
Cleats?
Yep.
Bat?
Yep.
Glove? You're shitting me! Hope you like picking splinters out of your ass, son, 'cause that's all you're doing today.
And even this song here, I love this one.
So me and my mom on the way back home, and we passed McDonald's. I'm just like, Mom, can you get some McDonald's? Oh, you got McDonald's money? Mom, so me and my mom on the way back home, and we passed McDonald's. I'm just like, Mom, can you get some McDonald's? Oh, you got McDonald's money? Cause you already know ain't no food at the house, but alright, Mom, I understand. I understand, Mom. See, you always want to do this, right? Oh, okay. How you gonna ask me if I got McDonald's money? I'm sitting in this backseat and you know that I am hungry, so you better give me something. I'm turning to the grouch, cause you know damn well ain't no food back at the house. Look up at my face, I look like a sad poodle. I'm sick of eating crackers and I'm sick of eating noodles, so you better turn around and go get me some food. If you tell me no again, then I know what I'm gonna do. When we get back home, I'ma have no chill. I'ma keep flicking your lights and run up your bill. Since you don't wanna be me, I'ma have some fun. Let all the windows up while the air conditioner on. My body is decaying, I feel it in my ribs. We don't even got ice cubes up in the fridge. I feel like I am dying while I'm sitting in the seat. We haven't seen Walmart in about 3 weeks. So tomorrow morning, you better go shopping or I'm packing my bags and I'm gonna get adopted. You better hurry up. You don't got an option. If I don't get adopted, then I'm going to the auction. I'm hungry. Mama, I'm hungry.
If I told my mama that, I would have gone slapped. You're tired of your mom and coming home and complaining? Take a look at this one.
So my mom come home from work and I'm just like, hey Mom, how was your day? How was my day, my ass? What about them dishes? Mom, shut up. You do the same thing every day. I'm just greeting you, Mom, like I'm your son. Okay. I know you mom and you don't be on game, but every time you come home you say the same thing. Can you greet me with some love or even with a hey? Can I get a hey son, how was your day? First of all, I'm not doing one thing, cause all you do is yell and all you do is complain. Do you know how you sound? Did you sip a drink? You tripping about 1 spoon sitting in the sink? Stop all that yelling when you walk through the door. If you got a problem, then you can sweep the floor. I don't care if you pay bills, this house is not a mess. All I do is clean, you gon' give me some respect. You need to be quiet, you need to just listen. Matter of fact, how about you get up in the kitchen? You can do the dishes, you can clean my room, you can make my bed, don't forget to vacuum. I'm tired of you, yes I'm fed up. Today you gonna learn just how to shut up. No, I'm not crazy, I'm coming at your life. Hey Dad, you need to get your wife.
Hey, you get your wife. This place around mine, I'm still on the porch now. And I'm still on the porch 2 years later. I have my own place. Now I'm still on the porch. Here's one more from Leak Jack.
And this girl talking about, I mean, you could have just went to another one because who got a calculator so I can calculate who she talking to? Cause I know I didn't just walk over here. Y'all asking me, she already broken. Hold on. Wait a minute, you better lower your gear. You work at McDonald's and you only a cashier. Do you know that I'm Lee Jack and I don't got no chill? And I will come at you and I don't care how you feel. First of all, I came to get some food. I ordered a 20-piece, I ain't ordered your attitude. Now you coming at me cause you don't got no patience. Am I the one who told you to fill out the application? I got all the nuggets, now you looking at me lost. Yes, little girl want more than one sauce. I don't care about your gender cause ain't nothing sweet. And if you got a problem, I'ma pull out this receipt. I asked for honey mustard, but you gave me sweet and sour. It's not my fault you only make $1 an hour. So you better shut up, cause you don't got no clue. They should've put your ass back at the drive-thru. I'm coming here tomorrow, I'm not an out-of-towner. Say one more thing smart, and I'm coming across this counter. Nasty attitude, I don't know how you got hired. Manager, she need to get fired. This girl gonna tell me, I don't really know if I wanna. Yeah. You're talking to the wall of me. Cause I know I did not just walk up here with my 2 feet for you to say, who you talking to? Cause you sounding real corny. It's dark outside and you knew that I was horny. Did you know that I was scared and almost shed a tear? And almost got attacked by a bear and a deer? First of all, we not even watching movies. I'ma wake your parents up if you're not throwing your booty. I'm not trying to cuddle, you know that I'm not cuffing. Worth the trail, see me, I ain't come over for nothing. It's about 1 o'clock, I walked in the rain. Did you really think I came just to watch Major Payne? No, I didn't come just to get a kiss. Girl, I came over to release my future kids. Back up, don't you get those to my mouth. How you not throwing that back, but you want me to eat you out? You got about 3 seconds to remove your underwear, or I'm leaving this room and I'm running up the stairs. Do what you gotta do, just know that I am ready, and I don't even care if you think I'm nice and petty. Yes, I'm serious, no, I'm not your friend. Hello, ma'am, your daughter let me in.
When you Portugal, the party's already mad for no reason.
So I'm at this party, right, and I go to talk to this girl, and I'm just like, how you doing tonight? Why you not dancing? Cause I don't want to. What, you talking to me or the dude with the Henny in his hand? Cause I wasn't even trying to come at you that way, but I see that's how we doing. That like that's what we rocking. Like hold on, wait, like hold up, little mama, man. Today is not the day. How you gonna cut me off before you hear what I'm gonna say? Do you know that this a party and that you need to dance? And I can care less if you got a boyfriend. You standing in the corner on your phone thinking you cute, but you about to make me mad looking like a statue. I don't care about your friends and y'all having a good time. You better start twerking till you break your damn spine. And if you don't dance, then you in trouble. I don't even care if you do the Cupid shuffle. Stop being lazy. I'm giving you a chance. If you don't hurry up, then you gonna catch his hands. Tell me why you came looking like a snack and get mad when I approach you cause your booty really fat. Tell me what's funny, did you see me chuckle? You better start twerking till you see my knees buckle. And if you refuse, then you gotta leave. You better not beg and you better not say please. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, you gotta go. Hey bro, she need to hit the dough.
Okay.
So I walk past this girl today, I'm like, how you doing? She's talking about, I got a boyfriend. Let me get this compliment out, because this don't add up. I ain't asked you that, but understand, I got you. Okay, I asked you how you doing, but you answered kind of rude. I ain't asked about your boyfriend, so please fix that attitude. I was trying to be nice, but then you started to smack. I should call my sister phone so she can come beat your ass. Look down at your face, you feel just like a hammer. Your face look like a man looking like Joe in a scammer. See your booty stinks. Smell like portraits and some kidneys. Tell me why your nose stick out farther than your titties. You not even cute. Why your makeup look a mess? Tell me why you rocking Jordans with that dingy ass dress. I wasn't trying to holler, so I don't know what you thought. Especially with your teeth looking like you chewing rock. So have a nice day with that crooked ass tooth. And if your boyfriend got a problem, tell him he can get it too. I go by Lee Jack. I see perfect through these lenses, so you better hope that I don't see your ugly ass again. Roger that.
Oh. Oh. Damn. That's kind of cool. You know what, one more.
Between Fortnite and you, when it gotta go. So you need to disappear cause I'm playing with my bro. I don't know why you confused cause you already know. You thought I was choosing you, girl, your ass is really slow. Yes, I am addicted, I've been playing 20 hours. It's been about 3 days and my ass ain't even showered. But I don't even care if you think that I'm a coward. I don't got no time to talk, I gotta land until the towers. Playing Fortnite so I'm barely on my phone. You know I'm playing squads and you know I'm on the zone. Why you telling me you mad? Why you telling me you blown? I didn't text you back, that mean leave my ass alone. I'm playing all day and I'm playing till the morning. You say the same thing, does it ever get boring? I can't text back cause my team need my support. I didn't text you back cause your ass is not important. Where we living? Greasy Grove? Roger that.
That's just unexpected. That was unexpected here. Wow. Ain't got nothing to say other than wow. Okay. That's all for this. that is all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday. We will see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night. For all of us here at YouTube, stop bullying, speak up, concentration, not strength. No jaywalking. Your body, your choice. Have a good night.